Welcome to Engineered Woodworking. In this video, I'm going to build a phone cradle. I built it using veneered wood that I got from Woodcraft. Watch this video to see how I built the form and the project. I started by sketching the profile of the phone cradle. I bisected the angle using a compass and geometry. Then I drew a radius between the two lines and drew a freehand radius on the end. I then cut this shape out on the bandsaw. The router bit that I'm using has a follower bearing that is 1/4 of an inch smaller than the cutting edge. So I made a new template that was 1/4 inch larger than my original template. I screwed a piece of plywood on top of the template and used a router to duplicate the template. I made 6 of these forms. I glued all of the forms together into one big block. I checked to make sure that the layers were straight and square. I applied packing tape to the form so that when the glue seeps out of the edges, it doesn't stick to the form. I used a bandsaw to rip the wood veneer. The bandsaw left jagged edges, so I sanded them down so that the veneers would more easily be in contact. I applied glue to the veneer and spread it out with my finger, making sure to coat the entire face. This alternate grain will give strength to the cradle while keeping the thickness very slim. I built up the piece with 5 layers. I gently laid the stack on the form and bent it very slowly and gently. I used 2 ratchet tie downs to hold the veneers around the form. Next time, I'll use a piece of metal flashing between the veneers and the straps. This will spread out the clamping force and keep the glue off of the straps. I let the glue dry overnight. You can see how well it retained the shape of the form. I marked the edges of the cradle as well as the ends. I marked a taper at the top of the cradle. This will keep the cradle from looking too square. I cut the cradle to size on the bandsaw. I had to rotate the cradle to keep the blade from cutting it in 2 locations at once. I sanded it with 220 grit sandpaper. I wiped it down with tack cloth to remove all of the sawdust. I used deft spray lacquer and put on 4 coats with 5 minutes between each coat. After the 4th coat, I lightly sanded it with 220 grit sandpaper and applied a final coat. I let this coat dry for 1 hour before handling it. This phone cradle turned out excellent. I'm going to give it to a friend of mine. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and then watch this video. I think you'll really like it. And don't forget to subscribe here. Thanks for watching.